Here's another thing I learned. Fear is a future-focused emotion, so it's natural that we should counter it by addressing our thoughts concerning the future, inoculating ourselves against stress and anxiety through the stoic premeditation of adversity is one of the most useful techniques for building general emotional resilience. So, I think I got this from an audiobook. Fear is focused on the future, which is true. What if I'm going to look stupid when I ask this girl and she says, "Huh? Who are you?" Or what if they all say no and they tell me to stop bothering them, stop making cold calls, right? You have this fear. You'll think about the future, that what could happen, what could go wrong, right? And the thing here that says is, one thing that helped me was the Stoic principle, right? The Stoic philosophy. Understanding that, yes, we have to go through adversity. Yes, we have to go through hardship, but the obstacle is actually the way. You have to go through it because it took a while. I've learned this. I've heard it so many times, but the hardship actually builds character. It's not the destination, as cliche as it sounds, but it's actually the journey that makes you that better person. Just like working out, the resistance that you lift or the harder you work out, the run, the farther, the faster you do it, that journey actually builds you to become a stronger, fitter person. It's the same thing with whatever courage you're trying to build up with that fear that you currently have. Learning to live with pain, paradoxically, often greatly alleviates emotional distress. So you have to live with it. I use pain, I use negative emotions for what it's for, really, because we're not supposed to distract ourselves from the pain and delay from what is painful, right? We got hurt, broke up with our significant other, lost our job, we start drinking, we game, whatever it may be, we distract ourselves, right? You shouldn't. You should live with that pain or that hurt because you're going to learn from those negative emotions. I used to think that negative emotions are bad for you, but you can actually learn from negative emotions because you can't have the good without the bad, the day without the night, the peaks without the valley, the positive without the negative emotions. And the negative emotions actually tell you what is wrong and what you can improve on. So if you have that fear, right, or if you need to build that courage, but you have this negative feeling of, oh, what if I'm not good enough, right? Don't distract yourself. Don't try to pretend like it shouldn't happen to you. Be with that pain. Be with that feeling of uncomfortable emotions so that you can work towards getting out of that. For example, if you feel overweight and you try to hide how fat you are, by wearing bigger clothes, you're just hiding that. Instead, you should be so uncomfortable with your current health status that you're going to do something about it by exercising, by eating clean, by sleeping early, getting enough sleep. Another thing I read recently was this. It's not things themselves that upset us, but our judgments about them. I think a Stoic philosopher said this. And what I took from that is, you might think that this shouldn't happen to you. You didn't hit your sales target. You didn't get to know the girl that you wanted to meet. She dumped you, whatever it may be, right? It's not really that per se that we're down, that we should focus on, right? We should focus on why it didn't work out, right? It's our judgment of that. Oh, I wasn't good enough. That's what makes you hurt. But if you just think about it, oh, I didn't make, those 3 sales calls I had to make. Close those 3 sales calls I had to close. I didn't hit my quota. Done. No judgment there, right? But when you say, oh, I didn't close those deals. Oh, she rejected me. Oh, she dumped me. Oh, it's because I'm not good enough. Oh, it's because I'm a bad salesperson. Oh, it's because I suck and I'll never get good at it. That's judgment right there. But when you just stick to the facts, I didn't close the deals. I wasn't her type. That's just facts, right? No judgment there. You'll never, close 100% of the deals. You'll not always hit your sales goals. They will always have bad months, maybe because of a personal reason, something happening in your family life, something, or maybe when someone dumped you. You can't be everything thing to everybody, right? You're not her type, whatever. It didn't work out, whatever, right? You're never going to have the perfect relationship, all right? Doesn't that seem a lot easier to digest as opposed to having all these judgments and pushing yourself down even worse? You're really depressing yourself, like the word it is, depress. I like this when I first read it. The bad can be used as raw material for the good, from Lao Tzu. So what I learned from that, what really clicked when I first read that was that it made me realize all the undesired events that has happened to me. For example, when I was a personal trainer, I was doing really well, fully booked, raised my rates, sold quite a bit. And then I was aspiring to have my own gym, which failed, right? Tried to open up my own gym. It was a completely different beast. I didn't realize that it was hard to get my clients to move from one gym to another, right? And having a smaller gym, working by myself, versus working in a big commercial gym, right? Where there's admins, janitors, whatever. They do their jobs, I do my job, and we work as a team. Versus me being a solopreneur, it was really hard. But I learned those bad events and I use it as raw materials to build something better, which is what I have now. I realized that I needed a business coach. I realized that I needed to forecast sales. I realized that I needed to learn more marketing campaigns, not just within the gym, which I was in a commercial gym, but outside, right? With complementary local businesses, small businesses like, spas, salons, nutritionists, physiotherapists. And I learned the hard way, which meant that I treated every success way more respectfully. So understand that we will never get it right 100% of the time, and use those bad experience, those undesired experience. I don't want to say bad, undesired, right? We don't want them, but there's always something good to be learned. There's always something to be learned with those undesired bad experiences, right? You learn, for me anyway, I learn a lot more from my failures than from my success. Because for my success, it might be like a lot is working right. So I don't know which thing worked. I couldn't really pinpoint. But when there were failures, I reassessed. I looked at everything. I asked myself, what could I have done better? And that's where regret comes in, right? Regret actually has a way of reviewing what happened and seeing what you could have done better. That's a separate topic altogether. So remember, you either win or you learn. And for me, I learned a lot from my failures. The next tip I have here is from actually one of the best books I've read in a while, just a few years ago actually, Grit by Angela Duckworth. You aren't improving because you aren't doing deliberate practice. This is how experts practice stretch goals. Having competition around you only makes you stronger, faster, better. So join a great team so you only get better. This is true for me. Whenever I wanted to try something new, I'd practice with like-minded individuals who wanted to, create more sales, or, I'd hang out with guys who wanted to pick up girls because it gave you more confidence, right? You get rid of that fear by becoming more courageous. So just like personal training, I tell them, when you hang out with people who are successful, who have that dream body that you have, or at least getting close to it, you're more likely to achieve that goal as well, right? When they eat clean, they sleep early, they exercise a lot, you hang out with these people, you're more likely to achieve those goals as well. And you'll have less fear and you'll have more courage because they do it regularly. So if you're hanging out with people who make a lot of sales calls, when you work at a place that has great camaraderie and everyone makes calls with a smile, cold calls, you're more likely to do it. It'll be a lot easier to do. All right, so surround yourself with successful people. And the last tip I have to build courage is daily rituals. I have some daily rituals, I have some weekly rituals, and monthly rituals as well. So monthly would be more the recaps, weekly would be checking out what happened this week or the past week, and daily would be just routines that would make me achieve my goals more, like daily journaling, meditation, brain dumping by writing down just random stuff that goes through my head, because most of our thoughts are negative and repetitive. So I make sure I see what I have in my mind, because it's one thing to think it in your head, but it's another thing when you actually write your thoughts on paper and read them. All right? Because we are creatures of habit. It seems weird that the most successful athletes slash businessmen are slaves to their routine. Maybe we should flip that. It seems weird that the athletes slash business people that are slaves to their routine are the most successful. I actually got this from an audio book, and I can't remember. It must have been Ryan Holiday. I know I did not make this, but definitely Ryan Holiday. So, well, not definitely. 99%. It was one of his books. I really like his Stoic philosophies that he got from, the Stoics. Sorry. All right. So make sure you have habits. Make sure you have rituals, because it makes things a lot easier. All right. For example, there are some guys, they dribble the ball 3 times, spin it before they make the free throw. There's some people, they won't shower before, the game, whatever it may be. These rituals make things more automatic, and it primes you to be the best person you can. So maybe I should give you an example of my rituals. I already did. Maybe another example. Exercise. When I exercise, it improved my mood. It actually made me more positive, which has been proven. It gives you a better outlook in life, right? It releases stress. You don't feel stressed because you exercise. It's a great way to release stress. And you sleep better at night, which means when you wake up in the morning, you have a better positive outlook in life, right? So it just keeps on snowballing. Find those routines. Build those rituals that will only help you achieve your goals. So I hope this video has helped, and I'll see you on the next one.